You can't. We're recording, Dan. We're recording, Dan. Dan. Listen to me. Listen to me, Dan. I will call my mum, Dan. She will come down here and fucking kill you.
I'm so good at this game.
I mean, 3 minutes in anyway. Yeah, battery's a bit of an issue. And, you know, there's a little issue with battery. I've had a little issue. I mean, you've got an issue with battery as well, so it's probably best you save up for yourself. I mean... Welcome to episode 1 of DLSpeech, where we take a break from scavenging the wasteland to sit down and talk about what nobody else does.
Video games.
Because no one ever.
It's a very niche thing.
Yeah.
It's a very hipster media.
That's the perfect way to put video games. Just niche, like a couple of people here and there into it.
Basically, we've got 3 topics today, and we're going to start with a pretty interesting one. The month of November.
Where wallet bin in the bin.
Yeah. More specifically, the fact that we have at least five big games coming out in the space of about 10 days. Mm-hmm. For those who aren't aware, in the UK at least, we have Tomb Raider, Fallout 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Star Wars Battlefront, and the new Need for Speed all coming out within about a week.
Yes.
Which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it's about 12 days. 5, is that 5?
Yeah.
5, like, highly anticipated for me at least.
Yeah.
Games. I think Tomb Raider, Fallout, and Battlefront are my on my 3.
Yeah.
Fallout being my first, Battlefront maybe second, Tomb Raider being third. In 12 days.
Yeah, what's even worse is the fact that Tomb Raider and Fallout are out on the same day as well, which...
Are you sure?
Yeah, both out November 10th.
I thought Tomb Raider was 13th.
It might be in America, but UK is 10th.
Yeah, different times and all that, I forget.
But yeah, so that's a bit ridiculous. Obviously, the release date for Tomb Raider was announced before Fallout 4 was.
Yeah. Also, Tomb Raider is actually an Xbox One timed exclusive.
Yes.
So I wouldn't even be playing that anyway. Good point. Yay, money. Not yeah.
So, anticipated, but we've got PlayStation 4s, so that could be a bit of a dilemma. Just got to wait, a year until we can play it. But yeah, I just thought it'd be worth bringing that up and talking about what we are gonna do.
Yeah, because that...
it's gonna be tough.
For real.
Yeah, I mean, there's no denying that I am quite the Fallout fan. It's not like I'm wearing a Bot t-shirt right now.
That's not even intentional at all.
No, that was completely accidental.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm spending quite a bit of money on Fallout stuff. I'm getting the Pip-Boy edition of the game.
The what?
Pip-Boy edition.
The Pip-Boy?
The Pip-Boy. So I'm getting the Pip-Boy edition of the game. I'm getting the hardbook strategy guide because that was only a 1-print thing. Getting the art book. Getting the Fallout Anthology in October. Probably getting the Fallout Loot Crate because I'm a fucking idiot. Fallout Monopoly. I love me some Fallout, so that's going to drain my funds considerably.
I mean, I'm going to buy the game.
Yeah, that's what most sensible people do, really. I should probably take a page out of that book. But like with all of that and the fact that I really want to get Star Wars as Battlefront as well.
I mean, you're not going to be wanting to put you're not going to want to put Fallout 4 down to play Battlefront.
Exactly.
I'm concerned there. How can you go you'll play Fallout and you'll be like, I'm going to play some Battlefront. And you'll be like, I want to go back to Fallout, and then you go for Fallout and you'll be like, but no, I want to go back to Battlefront.
Exactly. I mean, we've got the beta for Battlefront coming out in October. Which will give us a good chance to get stuck into it.
Wet your whistle.
It will wet my whistle, yeah. But to put it in perspective, I rather used the pre-order I had for that towards pre-orders for Fallout stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because as soon as I realised what the release dates were, I was like, yeah, there's no way There's 9 days difference between those release dates.
It's not even a case of money, it's just a case of time.
Yeah, it's always the case in the last couple of months of the year. Obviously, Christmas rush, loads of developers bring out the big hitters in sort of October to December.
Which is awesome if you're a kid, but if you work like us,
Yep.
you'd never have... Christmas is where you work most.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be selling these games for my job.
Yeah.
I work in a games retailer, though others are available.
So he's gonna be touching the games he wants to be home playing. He'll be there giving them to other people
before I can play it.
Watching them walk out of his shop on their way to play it.
Exactly. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. It really is. But I mean, obviously since the new consoles have come out, a lot more people. You get a lot of people now that aren't really big into games, but because the consoles can do so much more, they pick one up anyway.
Yeah, they're just like, ooh, new technology.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of sort of like parents come in like, yeah, I'm just picking it up for everyone, really. Yeah. It's not specifically for games. They'll play it a bit with their kids, play it a bit themselves.
That's
but
odd.
It's a lot. There's a lot of people and a lot of games, and that means sale is going to be insane. It's interesting to see which game's going to sell.
That's a good point.
Top out of those.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, Jesus, that is hard.
Yeah, each
Battlefront, Fallout, and then they've got to me personally, Call of Duty isn't a contender, but sales tell me otherwise. It'll be a massive hit no matter what they do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you start with Call of Duty, obviously it's an established franchise. It's always one of the biggest releases of the year.
It's Call of Duty.
Yeah, and it's had the beta out already, which has brought a lot of people in.
Which was fun.
Yeah, admittedly, it was a lot more fun than I've had in Call of Duty.
Yeah, everyone's
for a long
saying
time.
it's refreshing. It feels like Call of Duty 4, where your kills just feel nice.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the fact that you pre-order it to get beta access has meant a lot of people are quite inclined to get it anyway.
Good point.
And they're even more inclined after they've played it, if they've enjoyed it, obviously, to...
But then you see, it's like people... Like, my mentality is, Black Ops 3 comes out, I might get it. And I'm like... But then Battlefront comes out, and then I'm like... Fallout 4.
Yeah, exactly. Then you've got,
that's the thing.
After Black Ops 3, you've then got Fallout, which has got 7-8 years of hype behind it. You literally have people like sending death threats to the developers because they wouldn't release info before.
I've seen his retweets on his Twitter.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And I mean, Bethesda have said themselves, they don't need to do a massive advertising campaign because they know it's going to sell. That's why they've done that quick turnaround of reveal to launch. It's probably the shortest.
It's Fallout 4. It's like GTA doesn't need a campaign. Black Ops doesn't need like an advertising thing. It's the heavyweights.
Exactly. But then on top of those two, you've also got Star Wars Battlefront. Now that's got years of hype behind it since Battlefront 1 and 2.
There's more years behind that than Fallout 4.
And of course, with the new film coming out this year, so much hype behind Star Wars at the moment as well.
But
a lot of people...
To me, I don't think... I think there's a lot of people going to be boycotting it, personally.
Yeah, there's been a lot of criticism because of how much it's changed since the second one.
Yeah, and I feel like there's not as many people who are hyped for that than there are for people who are hyped because of Fallout 3's success.
Yeah, it's understandable.
It's like Battlefront 2 was really successful, and then they see Battlefront 3 and they're like, it's not as good. With Fallout, it's like Fallout 3 was really successful, and they see Fallout 4 and they're like, it's even better.
Yeah, I think because some people have said, there are things missing that were in the old ones. There's it's that sort of case of people are wondering why they should be paying so much, 50 quid for a new release when effectively the PS2 version had more content in there.
There you go. Like, it's a valid point, I think, but if you're a fan, you just buy it and play it.
I mean, in terms of like pre-orders and stuff, they seem to be fairly level between those three.
Yeah.
And there's a fair amount for Tomb Raider and Need for Speed, but not on the level I think they were expecting.
To be fair, Tomb Raider I'm really, really excited for, but not when it comes out because it's obviously it's time exclusive, so I'm not concerned. I'm happy that I'm not concerned about it yet. Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think it would have helped Tomb Raider a lot if it wasn't a timed exclusive.
Yeah.
Given that it's going up against a game that it's going to struggle to compete with. I mean, obviously, it's trying to stay as unbiased as we can. A lot of people are going to think if I'm going for a single player experience, I'm going to go for the huge open world game I can sink hundreds of hours into rather than a more linear story-based game like Tomb Raider.
Yeah, or Battlefront, for example. Like I feel like Battlefront would be a good game to play when you're just bored of everything else because it's just Battlefield with Star Wars paint. What's not to love.
It's going to be interesting to see the toss-up between Star Wars and Black Ops as well. They're both multiplayer-centric games.
Yeah, and both have jetpacks.
Effectively, yeah, that's true, yeah. But like, you know, you've got Black Ops 3, that's effectively the 4th game in Treyarch's thing. If you count World of War.
Their new thing,
yeah. But then you've got, like we said, Star Wars Battlefront.
I mean, it's like I go back to what I say about Fallout. That's Battlefront 3.
Yeah.
Like it's
this year you've had Battlefront, Fallout, Shenmue all announced in the same year, literally, and Final Fantasy VII, both the port and the remake.
Everyone just has heart attacks on every day. So.
All they needed this year would be Half-Life 3, and people would their brains would have turned to mush.
Really,
it's ridiculous.
Everyone assumed Fallout. Jesus Christ, there's so many games. Everyone assumed that Half-Life 3 was going to be announced because it was like Shenmue 3, which was like, 17 years behind it or whatever. Then there's Fallout, which was so many, and then there's Battlefront, and it's like, why not Half-Life now? Or at least Left 4 Dead 3 or something. They expected Valve to make a huge announcement to keep up with the rest of them, but I don't think that's Valve's style, personally.
No, I mean, they might do a bit off on a tangent, but I'd imagine if they've got a big title in the works, they'll keep it and use it to sell Steam boxes.
That's a very good point. Good point.
So, but yeah, I mean, with so many big games announced this year, it's so tough to try and predict even what is going to happen, what people are going to buy.
I know, this is the nerdiest thing I've ever said, but I'm really excited for the sales figures. Like
that is god awful, but I know exactly.
To see how close, I'm curious to see how close Battlefront and Fallout will be, but I personally believe Fallout is just going to knock everyone out of the park.
Yeah, it's
Fallout 4.
Exactly, yeah. It's difficult to compare them because one is single player, one's multiplayer.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah.
You know,
does Battlefront have a campaign?
From what I've seen, not really. No.
There's probably no point. No one's going to play it.
Yeah, that was one of the things people were hoping was going to be in it, like the conquest mode.
I mean, I personally probably would play it, but
I would love it if it was there. But
let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with sales. As for Need for Speed, to be honest, I really don't have high hopes for it.
Yeah, no, I don't really care for racing games these days. They're all too samey.
Yeah, Need for Speed, they've been firing out like nobody's business for quite a while now.
I want a game that doesn't feel realistic. I want Need for Speed to feel stupid.
Yeah, well, by the looks of what they've shown so far, it's going back to along the lines of Underground and Underground 2.
But to be fair,
which were the last Need for Speeds that were
it's really hard to emulate a PS2 engine because the what I mean is PS2 engine driving games were so good, but I think they got lucky because that was as good as they could do back then. But now we've got realism, which has to add to it. Otherwise, it won't seem next gen without realism.
There's been a lot of disappointing racing games as well.
So if they was to bring out if Project Cars ran on a PS2 engine, it just wouldn't get the hype it had because it would be way funner, but it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not as realistic.
I mean, I think they're hoping that Need for Speed will be the first really good driving game. You look at Drive Club, that had a lot of issues. Project Cars had a lot of issues. Yeah. There was Ride, motorbike game that dropped in price.
That's got really bad on Metacritic. Which had a lot of hype behind that. And then there was Need for Speed Rivals, which was actually, I think it was a launch title for PS4. Or it was like months after. But that was okay, but it was...
Yeah, and obviously Xbox has got Forza, which they're always very solid games.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. They are solid games, but that's where your realism comes from. To me, that's not that fun. Forza Horizon was kind of fun because it was open world stupidness, and I like that in a racing game.
Yeah, it's interesting to see when or if we'll see Gran Turismo surface again.
Yeah, well,
it's been a long time.
They tried it with Gran Turismo 6. That was in PS3.
That's
because they brought it out like a demo really early then, like years and years later. Because remember, we played it at Eurogamer.
Yeah.
And I played the demo when I was like 12, I think.
And you're just like 6.
Literally, I was like coming out of my womb.
Coming out of your own womb.
Coming out of my mother's womb.
This is getting weirdly graphic.
I'm going to not finish that.
Should we just go redo that bit? Because that's getting really...
No, we'll just carry on.
Gross.
Just carry on.
Just go with it.
Just carry on.
We're going to go with it. That's gross. That is gross. Where were we? You started back at Eurogamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we played that at Eurogamer a good couple of years ago.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. When you think about it. And then I just didn't hear anything of it. It came out and it was like it's Gran Turismo. It's a car and you go win. That's it. That's the game. To me, that's not that fun.
Yeah.
People seem to like it, but I feel like Gran Turismo is a very niche car game anyway because of its realism, and like the only people that really like it are people who are fans of old Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
games.
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't announce one this year. Sony's lineup for Christmas is not non-existent, to be honest. For
pretty
first-party titles, Xbox has got them outclassed in every single way.
But then we've had Until Dawn and other stuff.
Yeah, we've had like Bloodborne earlier in the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
So I think everyone's complaining. This is often another tangent, but everyone's complaining about exclusives and stuff. I don't care at all.
Yeah, no, I mean we've got enough games through this Christmas period
that's what I mean.
that are on both platforms that it doesn't really matter.
If I miss an exclusive, like I'm missing out on Gears because I don't have an Xbox, which kind of sucks because I love Gears.
Same.
And it's like, oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, admittedly we're not one of them, but a lot of people have got both consoles.
Yeah. I mean, I'm tempted, but I don't see a reason. Like, I'm not that concerned about
for both
exclusives. I'm going to go and buy a whole new console.
For both platforms, there's not enough top quality.
Exactly.
First-party titles enough there to make you transfer.
Especially shelling out like 350 quid for a new console.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
a lot of the big titles that are worth investing, like the ones coming out in November, you know, Fallout, Black Ops, Star Wars,
they're all just the same.
Cross-platform. So they don't really need to worry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so time will tell which game comes out on top.
Yeah.
Both in terms of sales and reviews as well.
And quality.
Because I mean, there are many a pitfall that they could fall into.
I mean, they are the same. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to get across here, but they're not the same. Like they're very different games, but at the same time, it's like
they have issues that they could each have.
Exactly, and you can't compare those kind of things. I don't think so. They're so different and same at the same time that it's hard to even put it in a line.
Yeah, it's just we're gonna have to wait and see. We'll have to play it by ear and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we will be covering some of the games that we're picking up. No doubt, we'll be doing Star Wars Battlefront videos.
Yes.
Fallout 4 videos.
Dan, actually, this is a good time to mention.
Yeah, it's a very good time to mention.
The other half of our grand scheme. You may.
We'll discuss that. So there will be a separate channel that's effectively part of this.
There's a link on this screen currently.
There is sort of right here.
You love that, don't you?
Yeah, I like pointing
out
where they're going to be.
Forcing me to do more work.
I do. You're going to put it sort of that.
Does it have to be? I mean, that's a hard dimension to get.
Go for it. Roughly around there. But it is DLC Storytime, which will be a focus on gameplay and playthroughs of games without the unnecessary commentary. The amount of games that, for example, The Last of Us or something like that, where I didn't have the game, didn't have the console for the game, so I'd want to watch playthrough for it. And every playthrough I found, there was someone making god-awful commentary and jokes over the top. And I know that there's a lot of people that have the same thing. They just want to watch the game, they want to experience the story and the gameplay, but they can't themselves, so this is the next best thing. Storytime will be that sort of thing. I'm planning on streaming every single minute of Fallout 4 that I play.
I feel like that's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
So we'll see how that comes out. But most of it anyways.
Yeah, and then other titles as well. But there will be very, very minimal commentary. There will be no talking over story or voice acting or big events, anything like that. It will literally be only in the downtime when it's quiet.
The game.
Yeah, exactly.
And even, I mean, you can still interact with Dan. You can just post a comment. If Dan misses something or you want him to do something, just comment and be like, oh, hey Dan, do this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But the next time he'll do that for you.
Circle back and see what's what.
Exactly.
That was a nice little segue into flawless self-promotion right there. Good job, Kieran. Gold star for you.
Anytime.
But yeah, talking of promotions.
Talking of terrible ideas.
Yeah, that too.
Just kidding.
I should hope so. There was something you wanted to bring up that was very interesting.
Yeah. I basically... This made me laugh and cry.
Yep, that's probably the best way to put it.
Well, I don't even know how to put it. It was what I want to talk about was Ubisoft's theme park.
A thing that is actually happening.
That's the thing. That they people. There was a table like this, and they had people that got paid to sit around it and say, "Okay, what do people want?" And one guy said, "I know what people want. They want a Rabbids and Just Dance theme park."
And everyone at the table applauded.
Yeah, they just got
as
up
the rest of the world.
They just chucked money. There was just money everywhere. There was just cha-ching everywhere, and then now they're making it.
Yeah.
Not only are they making it, but they're making it in Malaysia. So.
Yep. Remember all those adventures that the Rabbids had in Malaysia?
Yeah, I mean Rabbids and Just Dance is huge in Malaysia.
Mm-hmm. In fairness, it could be for all we know.
That's a good point. Probably is massive.
You know that Ubisoft's titles mainly appeal to the Western audience.
Yeah. I mean, how can Ubisoft come out and say, next generation theme park.
Yeah, it's a very, very strange
Because
thing to announce. It
What-
doesn't seem within their ballpark. at all.
I guarantee it will just be a theme park with game paint on it. You can't call it a next generation theme park because for that you need an innovation, and we all know Ubisoft have an issue with that.
Yes.
Ooh, sick burn. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just odd.
I find it very bizarre. I mean, you look at Ubisoft at the moment, and they've got a lot of series now. There's
Yeah.
tons of stuff under the Tom Clancy franchise.
Mhm.
There's obviously Assassin's Creed, like we said, Just Dance, Rabbids. There's Far Cry,
Oh yeah, jeez.
Rayman, all that kind of stuff. I mean, you look at,
Everything.
for example, the most recent Rayman games all worked along the concept of you playing and then the background music sort of tying in with your movements.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
That would be perfect for a roller coaster.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
But
But it won't be there.
it's just going to be a roller coaster with a picture of Rayman on the front.
Be amazing. If that.
Yeah, and I just don't. I feel like it's a waste of money and it's a waste of time, and it's going to flop, and it's going to make the gaming industry look stupid.
Yeah.
People are going to see that from the outside and think that's dumb. I don't want that. And then
there have been rumours that Nintendo are working on a theme park of their own.
yeah, but Nintendo are.
But yeah, it makes more sense. 'Cause
yeah, they're
they've
like
got,
a kid thing.
Yeah, all of their franchises for the most part. You look at Pokemon, Mario.
Yeah,
things
they've all
like
got like lovable characters and the money. They make a lot of money. Ubisoft are just Ubisoft, and you can't have Ezio stabbing people on a roller coaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't
You can't have bumper cars in the Divisions universe where every time you bump cars, just disease sprouts out from the cars.
That would be incredible. But yeah, how are they going to do Just Dance? People aren't going to want to get. That's not dancing. Is not a ride.
No,
I'm going to dance in the queue and not pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very bizarre. I mean, Ubisoft don't have the pulling power that, for example, say Nintendo do their own like real life Nintendo Land.
No.
They have the characters and the years of what's the word, sort of memories and things behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely.
The fondness that people have for their characters.
That's
There's
like
years of stuff
that's
in
a
there.
built-up part of people's lives.
Yeah.
Whereas you won't see people will be like, oh, Nintendo's part of my life. People don't go, Ubisoft and Just Dance are part of my life.
Yeah, exactly. Like, obviously there are certain things like, you know, Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed
that's a good point.
they're huge franchises, but they don't have elements that lend themselves well to rides, as far as we can tell anyway. We could be wrong, but
this could be the best theme park in the world.
we just highly doubt it.
It's just the fact that it's in a weird. I don't know why they picked that. They didn't actually say why they picked Malaysia, but it's just. Why would you pick Rabbids and Just Dance as 2 points?
Yeah.
People, I just don't. I think didn't Rabbids actually fail quite hard?
Yeah, they pumped out a lot of games and it just didn't go very well.
They tried to make Minions and it didn't take off quite like Minions did.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
But I mean, it's one of those things where we could be proven wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong.
Me too. I want it to look cool, but I just don't think Ubisoft are the people to do it.
No, there are other like game studios that would be far better.
Even a one franchise park. Imagine a Gears of War park. That would be awesome. Like corroded looking places, and like you go into the dark and there's like krill everywhere and stuff like that. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
it would be very dark, and we probably wouldn't walk out. But
yeah, we probably wouldn't survive it.
But nor would you an Assassin's Creed theme park.
Yeah,
so
it's really bizarre. Like, are you going to have like a Watch Dogs theme park where if you go around you can hack into other people's phones
you
while
steal money, and like the idea is you cause a car crash, and you're like, oh hey, thanks mum, take my picture on the ride. It just doesn't.
It's really, really very strange.
Yeah, but I don't know. I hope I'm proven wrong in this because, like I said, I don't want us to look dumb, and I feel like that happens a lot when people try new things like that. So
yeah, you look at most recently the. Was it Time Magazine? The cover that showcased VR.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's got ripped to shreds. He's sort of jumping mid-air.
Yeah, he's jumping and it's cringy and
it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and everyone that didn't understand VR just took the piss.
Yeah, you have a look. I mean, you look at things like Jimmy Kimmel's little rants.
Precisely.
The angry pockets of the gaming community. We don't promote them in any shape or form. They need to be squished, but like he's trolled them so hard, and they all rose to it.
Exactly,
and it makes the entire community look like a bunch of morons, which we're not. We're quite,
there's a
for the most part, quite
a very
smart
tiny,
people.
outspoken group are the ones that make us look bad, and it's irritating.
Yeah, and Ubisoft, I think if this park happens and it's an amazing flop, it's gonna make that look even more so than it is now. It's gonna make things worse.
Yeah, it'll be like like I can imagine the headlines being like, gaming tries to make it to the outside world and fails horribly.
Yeah.
Because that seems what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it more mainstream. And I kind of like where we are at the moment. We're in such a good place with games at the moment, where we're in like a place where we're kind of mainstream. League of Legends is doing those huge things. And
Yeah,
you've got,
esports is taken off.
Yeah, and like Let's Play Live that Rooster Teeth did, where they just play games on stage, and that's such a cool idea.
Yeah, like we're blurring the boundaries between like home consoles and PCs as well.
Yeah, and then you
got
go
new
from
technology like smart glass and the Oculus
I
Rift and things like that.
Yeah, just awesome new things. And then Ubisoft come along and go, oh hey guys, theme park.
It's what I was thinking about as well is you look at places like in the UK, Thorpe Park or Chessington World of Adventures. Those are places you can go back to every now and then. Every couple of years, you still enjoy it.
It's actually nostalgic to go back to those places because it's just a staple of UK, really.
Exactly. You look at the rides and they're known for their names, not because they're attached to anything
for
particular.
example. Yeah, Disneyland is like an established thing that just it's Disneyland.
It's been around for years. They've purchased. Obviously, they've got things like Pixar. They've got
Marvel,
Star Wars, Marvel.
All
of that stuff has been around for years and has a huge audience.
And it makes sense for them to have a cool ass theme park.
Yeah.
Whereas Ubisoft, Rabbids.
I'm curious to see what they do to expand it as well. Once they've got it up and running in Kuala Lumpur, of all places. What they do to expand the park or to change things around after so many years.
Oh, cool.
Because I mean, there's only so many franchises they can keep going, and I don't think Rabbids is going to be one of them.
Yeah.
So a couple of years down the line, everyone's gonna be like, Rabbids rides. What? Well, I don't know what that is.
What's a Rabbid?
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. We'll see how things pan out.
Yeah.
We've got 5 years yet.
Exactly. That's that. I mean, Ubisoft theme park.
Yeah, it might not even happen. It could happen even sooner. It's hard to say. But talking of things that might not happen, Peter Dinklage, we're all familiar with his work.
He was in Teletubbies, but like
no, it wasn't. We're all familiar with his work in Game of Thrones, where he's probably most well known from for most people. He was also the voice of Ghost in Destiny, which I'm sure a lot of people have played. Now, it was recently announced that they are replacing his voice work and removing it entirely in favour of Nolan North for the new expansion of Taken King.
Is that like peer pressure?
It's hard to say.
So obviously it kind of became a thing that it was bad.
Yeah, so following the release of the game, it got torn to shreds for... Everyone was saying that his voice acting was very wooden.
Yeah, it just didn't really feel
no
like
emotion.
Wanted to be there.
And they just thought it was a poor performance. Which, having played it, I'd say is fair. You played the beta.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've watched a lot of Destiny.
I mean, you look at lines, they're memes now. You look at things like "We've woken the hive," and it's like this god-awful thing that could affect the entire human race, and it's just like, "We've woken the hive."
Yeah.
Crap. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, but then the thing is, I've heard people have heard Nolan North's version, and they say it's just as bad.
Yeah, I mean, the argument is that it could be because he is effectively like a little robot.
Yeah, I think that's what the idea was.
Are they supposed to have emotions and stuff attached to them? Bungie came out and said, it was a case of their schedules. Nolan North was far more readily available than Peter Dinklage would be.
I don't believe that at all.
No, I think that's more just spoon-fed.
Yeah, exactly. That's corporate saying.
I think most likely they've been trying to out him for a while.
Yeah, probably in the nicest way.
Game. Yeah,
like you're a cool guy, and like I feel bad saying this because you're small, but go.
I imagine that is probably exactly what the Bungie XX said to him. But I mean, it's a good plan in theory. They're doing it for the Taken King expansion, which is the third DLC for the game.
Which is changing a lot of things.
Yeah, it changes a whole ton of things.
Kind of feels like a whole new game.
Exactly. And it's effectively going to be their equivalent of Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So when this comes out, you're going to have the game, you're going to have all the DLCs all on one disc. It's going to bring in a lot more people that haven't played it before, or it's going to bring back people that have stopped playing.
When they announced Taken King, I didn't buy Destiny because I played the beta and the alpha, and they felt too samey. Then the game came out, and I thought that looks exactly the same.
Yeah, it really was.
I saw the Taken King, and I was like, these changes they've made are huge. They're massive gameplay changes, and this looks kind of fun. I'd play this now.
It's going to pull in a lot of people that have given up playing it since.
But then sorry, carry on.
Well, that means that, I was just going to say that means a lot of people that are going to be jumping in for the first time won't even know any different. They're not going to know that Peter Dinklage's voice actor was there in the first place.
So they're,
yeah.
This is Peter Dinklage, and this is a rug, and it just...
Nice little cover-up.
Fuck off.
Nice visual representation.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did that as well. I'm pretty sure that's what they did.
We know some guys at Bungie. They told us this is what happened. But yeah, it's a very weird thing to happen, especially if it was a case of their schedules conflicting. They could have had a new Ghost. They could have had Nolan North be like a second Ghost.
Oh yeah, that actually would have been a cool idea. Like an updated version of
exactly.
Ghost.
Instead, they've completely removed all of Dinklage's work.
It's kind of like...
Which has got to be a huge kick in the teeth.
I was about to make a super obscure wrestling reference, so I'm just going to go...
Do it.
Well, that's not really obscure to a wrestling.
He's just going to shout John Cena at the camera.
No, it's more or less how... you know the Chris Benoit who, killed his family?
No. But yeah...
well, if anyone knows what WWE did with Chris Benoit is they pretty much just brushed him under the rug and pretended he didn't exist. So I feel like
Bungie
in a less extreme case, Bungie are doing that to the old Dinklage.
Yeah, I mean it's undeniable that another Destiny game is going to come out.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, a 10-year plan though.
Yeah, that's the thing. That could be for the franchise. I would highly doubt they're going to do a 10-year plan for one game.
True.
But I mean, you look at the sales figures, and it's just like they're not going to keep supporting one game when they can make millions off of this franchise now. And now that Peter Dinklage is gone and they've got Nolan North proceeding forward with new iterations of the game and new DLC, they've got this voice they can use in all of them.
And to be fair, not a bad replacement. I love Nolan North because I love Naughty Dog games, and he's in all of them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's basically in any game.
Yeah, true. He's everything. He's a cool guy, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's in Assassin's Creed, he's in the Batman games, he's in everything really. So he's very versatile voice actor. Like him and Troy Baker.
They're like best friends, and it's adorable.
Yeah, it's really cute. Not as cute as us.
That sounded like way feminine. That's really cute.
It's really cute. These guys, they do voices. Really nice. I love it. But like those guys, they cover most games, and I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, moving forward, that they just pretend that, like you said, Peter Dinklage and Dinklebot, as he was.
Brush him under the old rug.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I feel bad for him because he's probably like I've heard that he's like a good professional.
Yeah, he's probably a very humble guy.
Yeah, so he's probably just like I kind of like doing video games, and now he's never going to get video game work again.
Yeah, no way in hell.
He did Game of Thrones, though, didn't he? The Telltale game.
Yeah, he did voice. I'm pretty certain he voiced his own character.
Yeah. So I mean.
But that's of course one of the franchises he's already.
Yeah, and all he has to do is kind of just talk anyway.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, this is his first experience with voice acting for games of Destiny, and to know that your first experience with it has been written off completely.
Yeah.
That doesn't bode well for you.
Yeah. No, it doesn't bode well for you. It doesn't bode well for other people in the industry looking for voiceover work. If Peter Dinklage did amazing in Destiny, he would be the next Troy Baker. Not necessarily the next Troy Baker, but I mean, he would be constantly being offered new jobs. Yeah. But now I feel like that's going to be restricted.
It's never going to happen. Yeah.
But the fact that he accepted to do a video game in the first place is cool to me. Because I like it when big actors come and they're like, oh, games are kind of cool.
When you get to see like different medias coming together, when you see big, like the guy that plays Littlefinger in Game of Thrones is in, is it Quantum Break?
Quantum Leap. No, Quantum Break. Yeah.
Quantum Break. Yeah. And loads of people are like freaking out, like, oh look, it's the guy from Game of Thrones in a video game. It's like this sort of stuff happens all the time.
Norman Reedus, Silent Hills. Yeah, that was cool. Norman Reedus is awesome.
Or it would have been cool.
It made me cry.
Yeah, so it's always nice when those sort of things happen, and it must have been heartbreaking for him to put all that time and effort. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it was a lot of time and effort anyway.
Wow, time and effort.
Yeah.
As Bungie saw.
What the players say obviously varies, but obviously he's going to put in a lot of time, he's going to put in a lot of energy doing all that work for nothing. Literally nothing.
A shame. But that being said, he's a cool guy, so I feel for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see what they'll do with Taken King and onwards, see what the reception will be for Nolan North once all of his stuff is out there for Ghost in the game.
Oh yeah, I'm actually really curious to see how he does, because I don't want him to... I feel like they're going to make him be overly enthusiastic, like you said. I don't want a little robot companion to have too much emotion.
Yeah, he needs to be like a little humble pet.
Yeah, exactly. He needs to be a companion.
Yeah, exactly.
Not like a... I don't know. It's like, if Fallout 4 can do a dog... WoW, then they can do something that's voiced well, surely. Yeah,
I mean, they brought out the trailer for the Taken King expansion, and you saw literally about a 2-second snippet of Ghost with Nolan North's voice.
Oh, really?
And people did like respond to it, and there was sort of mixed reception.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was fairly positive. It's interesting to see if it will stay that way, or if, for example, we might see some people want Dinklebot back.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, there has been a lot of there's been a lot of like criticism for him, but it could be that they changed their minds down the line.
Yeah, like, I think after a while people got used to it and was like, it's kind of charming in a way.
Yeah, it was. That was the thing. Like because a lot of the stuff in Destiny was like grinding to level up. You go back and play the same missions. You got so used to him being there and doing the same sort of things.
I think he kind of warmed up.
And it's going to be interesting to see if Nolan North tries to effectively do a Peter Dinklage impression.
That's what I mean. It's weird. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna
like the tone of voice and the way he says things. Is that going to be the same?
It's like, is he going to try and overdo it to make it seem less like he's being Peter Dinklage, or is he going to underdo it? Like, it's hard to
tell.
Yeah.
But I mean, anything could happen. Really, it's just a case of waiting and seeing.
It's cool though. I'm a fan of people being changed though and stuff. So
yeah, if it improves the game and its story, which a lot of people tore Destiny to shreds the story.
But I feel like this is what Destiny should have been when it came out, not now.
Yeah, that's one of the things I find really bizarre. All of the things they're changing through DLC, it's just like, well,
it should have been there.
You had so long making the game a huge amount of money to make it.
That kind of stuff should have been there.
Sort of stuff been decided on when you're making it.
Yeah.
And it's a bit cheeky with the price tags for the DLCs as well.
How much is it? I thought I wasn't sure if it was standalone or not.
It's weird. You can't get it standalone unless you buy it digitally. But the price tag in the UK, I believe, for Taken King is about £40.
Are you serious? That's
huge. It's huge
expansion.
That's
pretty much a full game.
But that's mainly because the exchange rates don't work out with UK.
So if you buy Destiny for like what £45 now, or like $60 or whatever, is the season pass? Can you buy the Taken King in the season pass?
That would be part of.
Or is it a separate season pass for the Taken King?
I think it's a separate thing.
Jesus
because
Christ,
Bungie
are just
the first
rolling.
expansion pass had House of Wolves and I can't remember the name of the other one. But it had the first two chapters.
House of Wolves definitely.
Well,
they were underwhelming according to people. They were just new raids, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. And supposedly, I mean, it makes more sense to basically get the Taken King Legendary Edition, which is the game with all the DLC, because that's only a handful of pennies more than just that DLC will be. So it's going to be interesting to see what people do. There's a lot of people that have come in to try and pre-order Taken King. I think a lot of people are expecting it to be a standalone disc because it was
that's what I thought it might have been.
Such a price tag and such content, you'd expect it to be separate. But yeah, the only way to get it separately is through digital, which means people that have bought the game and 2 DLCs, they now have to fork out quite a bit for that single DLC instead of getting the season pass, which has all of it in things like that.
It's a bit of a Bungie thing to do.
A little bit. I think that's more Activision's doing, I would have thought.
Yeah, true. But I mean, still, it's what video games do now.
It's exactly. It's an unnecessary thing, really.
But we've gone off on a tangent, very much.
We always do. But it's all interesting stuff, so I'm sure they'll understand.
Check out that red bastard flashing at us.
Yep.
We should wrap up.
Hello. It's cold out. So that has been the first episode of DLSpeech. Obviously, a couple of topics to discuss. By all means, if you have any recommendations or suggestions for the next episode, you leave them in comments and stuff.
Yep, and also, how do you feel about those topics? Like, what do you think about the sales? What do you think about Ubipark? And what do you think about Nolan North's face?
Or rather, his lack of face.
No, his face. What do you think about his face? I don't care about his voice. What do you think about his face? What do you think about his face? See, Dan loves his face.